We're good with a little square thing popping up. All right, let's go over today on how to get more job interviews because I think this is really important. And I see people messaging me saying they're not getting interviews, and it's not super hard to do. That said, most software engineers don't bother with, uh, I guess, talking to other people or like building out kind of like the soft skills, so to speak. And so we're just gonna kind of like break down and try to learn a little bit more into like how does that work. And I'm gonna set this up so that we can go over this, so I can see chat. I do want to be able to see chat, and then we'll just go over this thing. Let's click here, and start up the session. Cool, there we go. We're nice. Okay. Yeah, so one thing I want to do kind of just to start with this, I mean, maybe people are going to trickle in, I guess. Maybe I'll end up repeating myself, but like, I think we go into Scala. I think there are several things here that we're going to go over. So like one is like this interview IO article, and I didn't even look actually sure about, I wasn't even sure about this thing. I'm not even sure who this person is. A lean learner. Does she ever do any of that or? Okay. Well, we're going to read through this article, read through this one, and then I'm going to try to set up the cold email stuff and go over that. Before any of that stuff, so I like in January of last year, so almost 1 year ago, I was like struggling getting companies to hear or like to reach out and like give me a chance. And I did several different things, fix my LinkedIn that like worked massively, changed my resume that helped me massively and got me interviews. And I also sent out messages to recruiters that also helped me get get seen more and get more opportunities. And it's also I've seen it help for other people too. So I had one friend who applied to 1,000 applications and he didn't hear back from a single one. And he sent out messages to recruiters, and like that's what helped him. That's what got him like his finally like got him interviews, right? So out of 1,000 applications, nothing, and then he sent out a couple messages, and then that's when he actually got something. So I think sending out the ability to send out a message and the ability to send out a message that looks good are two different skills that most programmers don't have at all, and can help you a lot. A lost god 26. What's up? Good to see you. Good to see you, a lost god. It's been a while, I feel like. Don't think I've seen that name. Um, yeah, and so he did that. There was a girl who reached out to me too, and she said, "Oh, I want help on interviews," and she had been unemployed for like a year, like graduated and could not find like a job for a year. And I told her, hey, you can like just message the recruiters, like use like this kind of template, right? And she did that, sent that out, like improved her message, and then she started hearing like back from interviews, like hearing back from recruiters, like they were actually like reading it and then giving her a chance, basically, right? And yeah, essentially, like I'm seeing it a lot, even in more cases where there was another software engineer who had 2 years of experience and didn't have a computer science degree, and he like uh wasn't getting interviews, changed his resume, started sending out messages, and then like he's got like tons of interviews, right? And so overall, like TLDR is just that like this stuff does work, right? Like if the problem is that if you go on Reddit, like what they're gonna tell you is that like, oh, the job market's terrible and like, oh, like it's all worthless, we should just give up, any hope for new grads. And the true case is that like if you just learn these skills, like you can have tons and tons of interviews, and just way more than like most software engineers, because again, most programmers don't even bother. This is not even like a fathom anything they would possibly think of. So we're gonna go over this again. I think this article is very well written. So I want to just read it. So maybe I'll learn something here. Last updated October 2024, and last updated November, and it came out like this is like very fresh. one, and it's also like this is before this. I didn't know this was like a thing, but like before this was like my advice. I think I want to say it was like my advice, which is like cold outreach. Message recruiters, message hiring managers. If you do that, you will stand out, and no programmers are doing it. And this is the thing that like I'm saying that like those 3 people who helped, who applied to thousands and didn't hear back, but they did this and it did work. Right. This is why, like, I mean, it'll work for you too. I mean, it just nobody's doing it. And if you do a good job at it, then it'll work. Um, I guess TLDR for people who are like watching or like don't know, right? Is that I've said this several times, right? Is that like if you're gonna send a message, you generally just like message recruiters one, so you can go on LinkedIn, you can get their emails, you can do like tons and tons of options, and then once you have like their LinkedIn, you can send a message, so say something personal, right? Like personal, and then 3 things that make you different than other like 99% of engineers. And if you don't have anything about this, right, then that means you need to program, right? But like this is for the people who actually have 2 years experience, 3 years of experience, who want a job and they can't get one, is that you talk about the things that you've done that most software engineers haven't done or that will make you stand out. And then you say like, can I send my resume? Just like that. Can I send my resume over? Or my LinkedIn profile? Right? Just do these 3 things. And make it short, make it concise. Nobody wants to read like the massive thing like that. Like nobody wants to read. What is it? What's the common message that you'll get send out? By way of LinkedIn search connections, I found through your contact information. I'm an engineering management professional with 16 years experience currently, right? Like 1, nothing personal. 2, like I don't know why this message is here. Like most people aren't going to read it. All of this is a lot of stuff. I've played a diverse engineering role, right? Like just cut out the stuff and just make it just a lot simpler. Which do they actually? I think they have templates here too, actually. But we'll go through these and then go through some like the tools that you can use to send these emails out. And they're like, well, this is literally. I mean, I have so much confidence that this is literally going to change your world, and give you just way more interviews because I've seen it happen, and I know it works. Okay. So we're gonna read through. At least I'm gonna read through this article. If you guys have any questions, you can let me know. If not, then linkers, any linkers, div yummy z. Yeah. So yeah, again, if you just send out messages to recruiters, maybe 10. If you could do 10 a day, I think you'll. I mean, you're gonna start hearing back. Like you're gonna hear recruiters saying, "Oh yeah, bro, sure, I'll look for you. Yeah, bro, let me know. Hey, bro, I got this role for you." Deliver it to you. I've had recruiters tell me that just because I emailed them. Now that said, I didn't want the roles because my standards are pretty high. But yeah, again, do this, guys. If you're watching, whatever. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to say it, but I'm gonna say it I'm gonna say it forever actually because most software engineers still don't care. But like I'm gonna say it every time as much as I can because I think it's gonna help. Okay, so we'll just read through this article. So how to get the door at the top companies, a data-driven practical guide for software engineers, part 1. In part 1 of this post, we'll share some data about which channels are most effective for getting into the door of great companies, which is why part 2 will be very tactical and tell you exactly what to say to get responses. Okay, and if you know, I'm curious about this because I want to know like what did they do, what did they research, and all that stuff. So I think it'll be cool. Interview was anonymous in mock interview platform. I think it's anonymous because you're not actually allowed to work at these companies, Facebook, whatever, and give interview advice. So you actually have to be anonymous because it goes against their company's policy. So it's good, I think, to be anonymous because you can say things that you wouldn't really get to say publicly. And this is where, like, I think if you actually do pay for these platforms, this is kind of, I mean, I'm not affiliated with them, but I do think that mock interviews can help you. But like, if you pay for these kind of platforms, you can ask the interviewers, like, to give you like their company rubrics and things like that. Like, you can ask them questions on that, and I think a good amount of them will tell you, because I don't think that they're like sold really into like the company. Like, I don't think they really care. But just facts, or you can also just have friends who work there. Bonus facts for you. So we help our engineers prepare for them for FANG and do mock interviews in this market. Many of our users are struggling to even get interviews, so we ran a survey. That worked well. Okay, in our survey, we gave the following channels. In-house recruiter contacts you. Nice, on LinkedIn. Apply online, warm referrals, cold outreach to hiring managers, cold outreach to recruiters. This is actually a pretty cool distinction. Agency recruiters contact you. Okay. We also asked them what type of companies they get responses from. FANG adjacent, large startups. We got 500 responses among their surveys. Channel was most consistent. Which channel were most consistent? You're as a type. Regardless of company type, but there were some twists depending on who the candidates were. More on that a bit. Below are the channels ranked by effectiveness. We found more people found the channel effective. When more people found a channel effective than ineffective, it ended up first on the list. When people found the channel to be ineffective, it's second on the list. I don't know what that means, but okay. So recruiting channels that our users found to be effective rank from most to least. So they found that warm referrals were the best. Having recruiters contact them was the best. Applying online, and then cold outreach to hiring managers. So this is what they ranked. So they would say messaging is like the worst. Referrals are the best case for them. And the channels that they said are the most ineffective are messaging recruiters and cold referrals. So people who you don't know are actually ineffective. It is interesting. There's a lot of TikTok things, and like, actually, I think if you go on Reddit right now on r/leetcode, you're gonna see someone who's offering TikTok referrals to strangers, and he sends a link out. I think maybe probably 1,000 people click his link or whatever, and I'm not sure how it works, but how they know it's cold or not. But they probably are counting or something. I don't know, but yeah, I would probably say this is ineffective in my opinion. I would disagree with the people here, but apparently, I don't know if this is their opinion or is it like facts. I don't know. Okay, so the most useful channels right now is recruiters when they reached out to you, and warm referrals. These channels are out of your control. Now, I would say somewhat. I would really lean to somewhat. So you can actually influence the number of recruiters who talk to you by having a good LinkedIn profile. But like other than that, I mean, you can optimize for it for sure, but it is actually, probably out of your control. I mean, you can even be a content creator too, make videos and stuff like that. But warm referrals also aren't really out of your control actually. There's probably a way where you can actually introduce yourself like this. There is a strategy to meeting people and you can introduce yourself. Now that said, it's just super slow. Like applying online, that's the fastest, like and easiest to do, but this would take weeks to months to build up actually like a network. And then this one, again, I think it weeks to months, but I think it's not fully out of your control. Like I'll shift it up to here. Okay, you might be wondering why we specifically singled out cold outreach as something that can be done right. Oh wait, did they say that? Where did they say that? Oh, they did say it's effective, I guess. They just said this is ineffective. Okay, so they're saying hiring managers is good. So they say it works for hiring managers. What does that mean? Okay, in our experience, that channel is both misused and underutilized and is the best bet for candidates, right? So this is what I'm saying is that like, I think if you message recruiters too, it's phenomenal. And I think it probably gets too much hate, but like, this works. You just have to know how to do it. It does work though, and I think Interview.io also is saying that, which is cool to see. You have to do it correctly. If you don't message recruiters correctly, if your idea of like messaging a recruiter is like please give me a job, please give me a job, or if it's like please give me a referral now, give me referral at Google now. None of that's not gonna fly. I'm so engaged and I work on so much different types of skills. I'm so passionate about. I'm a passionate engineer. If that's like your words, like yeah, that's not. You can just cut that out. That's not gonna work, bro. In my opinion, I don't think it's going to. I wouldn't send that message. So this channel is one where you have the least amount of control. Although how much you have control, we did a survey to find patterns of backgrounds, particularly useful. In-house recruiters are more likely to contact you. Who is this person? Who wrote this? Who is Aline Lerner? Who's that? I look up on LinkedIn. I don't know. What do you think about this? Is this good? Is this good? Should I make more videos like this? Should I do less? What are we thinking? Okay, so this is Aline, author of Beyond Cracking the Coding Interview. Okay, so I guess she's a co-author on it. That's cool. That's cool they have the co-author. She should have something solid. Oh, she's the founder of Interview.io. What the heck? That's crazy. Dang, 10 years, man. Okay. And she's a recruiter. She was a recruiter for a lot of companies. So yeah, so I think she knows what she's talking about. Assuming she wrote this, I do believe she wrote it. If she wrote, she's also an author of the Cracking Coding interview thing. Okay. So in-house recruiters are most likely to contact you if you look good on paper. So do you have top tier companies? Do you go to like an amazing school, Harvard, Yale? Do you work at Google, Amazon? Do you have Capital One, Citibank, other things? Did you take up a job? I know you're actively applying, getting interviews. No, I'm quitting that and just doing startup stuff. So I quit my job, I lost God, to do startup stuff. And then I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just like apply to jobs and just get a job basically. But then I'm like, oh well actually I think this could work. And I think it still can work. So that's what we're doing, startup business stuff. Yeah. So we'll do that until it fails, and then I'll use my LeetCode skills to get a job. And also use this cold email stuff to get interviews. Okay, looking on paper, belong to a group underly represented. So you're a woman or a person of color, and to some extent, though less than 2 bullets, you have niche skills. So it seems to be the case is that like you just have to go to a good school, or have a good company on your resume. Maybe we can start with the problems first, and then maybe towards the end of the stream talk about this as well. Ariane, what are you talking about? Maybe we can start with the problems first. What problems? Are you still doing AI automation? No, I think what's going to happen is I'm going to quit that. I think I'm going to quit that and then just like deep dive or dive deep into kind of like this world of like getting people interviews. I think that's good. That's the business actually. Is that like helping people, helping software engineers get jobs and showing how to do it. And yeah, because I don't think a lot of people even knew about this interview.io article, but I think this is very good. So far from what I've read, this is very good when it comes to getting interviews. And like the problem is that I'm noticing like several problems because I talk to you guys a lot on like just on calls, and so I hear a lot about like what's happening and things like that. And for the people I talk to, it seems like they just kind of give up and they're like, oh, this is impossible. And because they give up, like it's literally impossible. Like you can't do anything. So for those people, they're doomed. They'll probably drop out of CS. I don't know what's gonna happen to them. Not really my problem, but there is a subsection of people who actually do want to try and do want to learn and improve. And so I think I can help those people. Actually, I have helped them too. But anyways, that's what's happening. A lost god is just full-time streamer, full-time content creator, and specifically trying to help out. Okay. So these results aren't unique to this survey. We recently did a study where we asked a bunch of recruiters to look at resumes and tell us which candidates they wanted to interview. While the intent of the study was to see if recruiters are good at identifying talent, they're barely better than coin flip. True. 1000% true. It's actually just a coin flip. Just luck. Hey, we can work together. I'm in India. It had huge talent, and we can start outsourcing jobs from US to Europe. It had huge talent. What do you mean it had? It had huge talent. It has huge talent. India has huge talent, and we can outsource jobs. Yeah. I will say though that I'm a part of like this. I know a lot of like entrepreneurs who do like who are building out like AI automation tools, and I what's happening now. I'm not sure how much time I'm gonna have for this, but that said, I might outsource these jobs to people who are Oh, I thought in the stream we'll be solving legal problems. Oh, did the title say that? The title shouldn't say that. I didn't look. Tried to change the title, but I don't know if it went through. I tried to change the title. No, yeah, the title is how I got 10 programming interviews in 10 days. Yeah, so there's no legal problems today. Another day will there be legal problems? another day will be LeetCode, but for now, no. But yeah, in terms of like outsourcing stuff, so I have a partner who is like finding companies, and eventually I think is gonna bring me work, and so I'll be outsourcing that work I think to other people. So if anybody who wants like I guess to work on like some kind of AI project, and I say AI project, this is I mean like ChatGPT. You use ChatGPT, using AWS, and then maybe like JavaScript, Java or Python, but like to build like some kind of code thing for a lawyer, but it'll be paid. It'll be a paid thing, and so I'll probably pay somebody who's in the community to do that, outsource it. And I think the pay range for this is gonna be $2,000, $2,000 to $5,000 a month, depending. I don't know. Depends on the number of clients that there are. Yeah, but these clients are gonna be like kind of received just cold email. By the way, it's just cold outreach. So it's how do you send a message that attracts attention? So, yeah, that's that. A lost god. If you're curious on that, you can message me if that's something that you would want to do, and then I can see. But yeah, tomorrow will probably be LeetCode. I just want to get through this. So, okay. We recently did a study where we asked a bunch of recruiters. It was just nothing but a coin flip. Like this does not surprise me at all. I hate the fact that like I hate the fact that people think that like job searching is like a skill based thing, and that it's not like there's not like chance or luck into it. And so when people get rejections, when people don't hear back in interviews or whatever, like they just kind of like forget that it's I think it's just luck. Like a lot of it's luck, or like when a company doesn't contact you, it's like nothing of you as a person. Like it has literally like the most disjointed thing from you as a person. It's just like there's just too many people. But yeah. We learned some other interesting things, including what recruiters actually look for when they read a resume. The most sought after traits were experience at a top tech company, FANG adjacent, or being an underrepresented minority. I'm kind of surprised too that this is actually a thing. Oh no, my screen crashed. I'm kind of surprised at being a. Oh, I have to end stream because my thing. It won't let me. It won't let me refresh the screen. Oh my god, bro. That's annoying. All right, I'm gonna refresh the stream and then I guess continue with this and contemplate buying a Mac Mini M4 so that this never happens again. But who knows anything about that? Anyways, give me 1 second. I'm gonna restart stream.